The Institute's third area of focus will be human freedom. As I said in my second inaugural address, extending the reach of freedom is the urgent requirement of our nation's security and the calling of our time. History shows that free societies are peaceful societies. Governments that respect the rights of their people are more likely to respect the rights of their neighbors. Young people with a voice in their future will not search for meaning in extremism. We've seen the transformative power of freedom in our lifetime, especially if you're a baby boomer. In a Japan transformed from a brutal enemy to a democratic and peaceful ally. In a South Korea that rose from the rubble of war into a dynamic democracy. And 20 years ago this week in Berlin, where people denied liberty for decades, defied their oppressors, and tore down the wall. There were many reasons for America's victory in the Cold War, including the resolute vision of our 40th president and the steady hand of our 41st president. One crucial factor was America's support for dissidents. At the time, critics dismissed this policy as simplistic and naive. Then came the stories from prisoners in the gulags who tapped out the words of President Reagan's speeches and learned that America saw their oppressors as they did, destined for defeat. Today, the forces of freedom and tolerance face new challenges. And once again, people on the front lines are looking to the United States. From labor camps in North Korea, to political prisons in Cuba and Burma, to university halls in Iran, coffee houses in Venezuela and other places, dissidents and reformers are looking for support and strength. When America stands for liberty, they take heart. When we do not, the dictators tighten their grip. Throughout my presidency, Laura and I met with democratic activists, defenders of religious freedom, and families of political prisoners. The Bush Institute will continue this cause by supporting advocates of freedom around the globe. As a first step, we will assemble a freedom collection, a repository of video histories and memoirs and documents from democratic activists. The Freedom Collection will be online for the world to see. Among the leaders who've agreed to participate are former President Václav Havel of the Czech Republic, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of Liberia, Mohsen Sazagara, the founder of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, who became an advocate for democratic change, Kang Shol-Wan, who spent 10 years in a North Korean gulag and authored the book Aquariums of Pyongyang. With the Freedom Collection, the Bush Institute will send a message to dissidents and underground preachers and political prisoners around the world. We hear your voice. And as you stand for your freedom, free people will stand with you. I'm also pleased to announce the Bush Institute's first fellow in human freedom, Oscar Morales Guevara. For decades, Oscar and his fellow Colombians suffered under the FARC, a brutal narco-terrorist network. As a young engineer, Oscar used Facebook to launch a movement called 1 Million Voices Against the FARC. A month later, more than 12 million people in 40 countries turned out for rallies to proclaim No Mas FARC. Thanks to enterprising citizens like Oscar and the steady, strong leadership of Colombian President Alvaro Uribe, the FARC is in retreat and the Colombian people are better off. As part of his fellowship, Oscar will organize a conference that brings together cyber dissidents from around the world to share lessons on using the internet to promote democratic change.